Hello, everybody. It's Friday again, and the next backend stream.
Hi.
Yeah, last week there was no iOS stream, but hopefully next week we have one. And yeah, for today we work again on our backend, updating some endpoints or improving some endpoints. And yeah, then should we directly jump into the code?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then let me switch.
So maybe a short recap of last week. What we did, we made it possible to add movies to the list with our API, and yeah, also delete movies from the list. And now what we want to do before the client tries to use the API next week, we actually need to improve the search movies endpoint a bit, because at the moment we only return the movies, but there can be much more than just one page of movies, and we need to implement the paging stuff. The movies API implements it, and we need to pass it through.
Yeah, it makes sense when we search for movies and we have a lot of results there. Yeah, and by the way, Krinay, thanks for the subscription, second month.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, so when we have a look at the MovieDB API for the search movie, we can see in the result or in the response that we get the field, the page, which is an integer. We get the results, which are the movies, and we get the total results as well as the total pages. And basically we want to pass that through. And also we see here is a parameter for the page, where we can specify the page. It's also a query parameter. And we also want to allow the client to specify the page so that it can go on. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the idea. So we can start with passing through the page. Mm-hmm. We have the search movie endpoint. Page is usually a query parameter.
And also squoo for the squoo. Naming nicknames are hard. Yeah. So also thank you for the second month.
Good, thanks. Nice.
And House of Wild is cheering again.
Yeah, what we want to do here is with the page. So we want to allow the client to also not send this parameter. Mm-hmm. Because yeah, I mean, for the first page, they usually don't have to send mm-hmm. this.
So default value would be 1.
Default value would be cool. Yeah. Here, there's one thing, because this is an int, and mm-hmm. We have Kotlin. Here, int is seen as an object, but when it's compiled to Java bytecode, then it's actually a primitive. Mm-hmm. And so we cannot do something like this, where we use a default parameter here, because in Java this is an int, and yeah, it doesn't work. One nice workaround is just make it optional. Mm-hmm. So now it's nullable. You can pass this on. This has also the advantage that here in our API, we don't know and we don't care what the default page is of the external API. So the external API could start with 0 or with 1. So here we don't know that, we don't care about it. We just let the movies service know that we want to get a page, maybe, if it's specified or not.
And also flexes for the resubscription, second month. And then we now have a hydrant, so we need more subscriptions to get more levels here. So cool. Yeah, let's see how far we can get.
Yeah, so we want to pass this on to the movie API. So we already have some parameters here. We can also add the page. So this is again a REST query parameter. Let's double check. Yeah, and the API is called also page. So the variable name is fine. But so there's two ways. Yeah, this is optional. So we could just say, yeah, if you don't specify a page, we use the default from them. So we will always get the right one, no matter if they count from 0 or from 1, or if they change it.
Yeah, okay.
So this should hopefully work. And we get the movie response back, and let's just start this up and have a look if it works. If we get different stuff.
Okay.
So Quarkus is started, search movies, we query for Marvel again. So we have Captain Marvel on top. Now let's go page 2. So I just added the page query parameter here.
Yeah, now it's
different.
Different result,
yeah. Okay, that's nice already. But at the moment, there's no way for the client for you later to know, are there more pages?
Yeah, and how
many total results you want to probably display to the user also. So we need to add this. So paging is something we will use probably more often. For example, you could think of the favorite lists we have. They could also be paged. Because if a user adds a lot of movies to the list, you don't want to return it all in one batch, and rather page it. So let's have a look.
So basically, I think on iOS side, we did it in the first version when we directly called the movie DB API, where we had some page container or header, I would say, with max results, which page I'm on and how many results are left, and so on.
I mean, basically, we want something similar to this one here. We get the page, the results, the total results, and total pages. And that's what we will do. So as of now, we have the movies list DTO. We want to make this a bit more generic. Let's name it like page.
The amount of one page is fixed, right?
Yeah, I think they have no parameter to change it. Yeah.
Okay. Because some APIs also provide that I can say how big the page should be.
Yeah.
So I can say I want a page with 10 entries or with 20 or I don't know.
But it seems they don't support it.
And Lensman also resubscribing second month. But it was too late for the hype train, I think.
What?
Yeah, the time was up.
No.
Yeah, too slow.
No, Lensman.
No, it was in time.
It worked?
Yeah.
Awesome. We made it. Now second level. Go crowd. So as I said, we want to make this a bit more generic. Because we want to use it in many different places, and there's no reason to do this class over and over again.
Yeah.
So what we will have is we will return which page we are on, the total pages, and we will also give the total results back. And of course the results. And I also use the generic here so that we can switch the type of the results for what we needed. So let's do this here. We have a page result, and this is of movie list item DDO, I think. Now we need to change that to DDO. Okay. At the moment, we have only returned from the search movies. We return only the list of movie search results. Of course, we also need to return which page we are on, how many we had, and so on from here. So let's also create a model class for it. This is very similar from our DTO. Also here we have the page, the total pages, total results, and results. And we do here now the page result model. The search result model. And yeah, we should also pass in the whole response. Ah, here we already have it. That's nice. We did that already. So
thanks for the subscription, Marketing Rocks. Cool name.
That's a cool name, yeah. No, isn't this? Movies, TV, search result, Argentina. Movies, TV, search results. Did you? Yeah, that's the right one. And we want to return the page results model for movie search model. And here, let's make it a proper body. So we want to return the page result model. First of all, we need a page. Yeah. Search result. Oops. Misclicked. Then the search result from total. No, total pages, yeah. Total results, and then we want to map results. Yeah, then we want to map all the items. And yes, so we have this here, we return it, we get it here. Search result. It's more than movies now. And we have the page result model for movie search models.
Yeah, hype train level 2.
Wow. Yeah. This is going wild. I've never seen people so excited about DTO mapping. I'm just trying to not get confused with all the DTOs and models and stuff, but you go crazy. It's awesome. So we have the page, the total pages, total results, and the results are mapped. I would not have needed to restart, but I did anyways. Crazy. Is there a next level for the hype train, or did we?
Yeah, I think it can go up to 5.
Whoa, okay.
But then we need more subscriber in that time, more cheering, more. Yeah. But maybe we can get to it next stream.
So let's check. Oh, it works. Page 3. We have a total of 9 pages with a total results of 167. And how many do we have? Is it 10 or 20? No, I have an easier version. Let's go with the debugger. Just out of interest to know how big the pages are. So we have 20. results. The results list is 20 long. Yeah, so is this okay for the client?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, it's cool.
A client. Oh, one thing we should try without a page. So we get a first page. In this case, that's perfect. Yeah. Good.
So then if you provide page 9, you would get
yeah,
less than 20 results.
good idea.
Just to check the max values. Yeah, okay.
That's definitely less than 20.
Looks good.
Cool. Okay. Then one more thing we could add. At the moment we have hard-coded the language.
So, yeah, we could also provide a language with the request.
So for the language, we could maybe use the accept language header. So we can do that with a header param. Let's go with the rest. Header to the, and here we have the HTTP headers. Address from JAX core, and there should be accept language. Perfect timing. So if we do it like this, you will be forced to provide it.
Yeah, maybe we should do it optional.
Okay.
And then say the default is English, for example.
Okay.
And the question is when we can test that when we provide a language the database doesn't have, then I would get an error maybe, or I don't know if the movie API maybe defaults back to English then.
So that's the movie API. We have this is German now because we supplied German. What happens now?
Yeah, it's English. Okay, the default seems to be English.
And if we have a look, yeah. So they support using either something like only DE for the language, or the more specific use the German the German from Germany, or use the German from Austria.
Yeah.
So let's test that. Austria, 80?
80.
Yeah, so it's still German. What's there? Here's no overview. For the second one, if we go with this, also not. Okay, no German.
In English? Maybe they don't have the data.
Yeah.
Okay. Short overview in English. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe sometimes you don't get data then.
Yeah.
It's a bit unfortunate. It would be better if they would then fall back to the English also. But
if they have one, or if they provide null, not an empty string. Empty string and null is.
Empty
Every
string
time
is
it's a discussion topic.
Yeah, I personally prefer null so that you know there's nothing.
Yeah,
there is no value. The empty string is probably what's safer for many not so well defined clients. Because then they still get a string, they cannot get a null pointer exception or so.
With a string it's can be okay, but
the
question is when you do you do when there are numbers?
That's one thing, and the other thing is now if I want to react on it, if it's not there, to find out if it's not there, I now have to make is empty. Is the string empty or so? Which it's not so nice. A null check is something basic that's always there, and it symbolizes exactly that it's not there. But okay, we will still we will just forward it to you. So we have the accept language here. What we could do is, if you don't provide it, again, we just also don't send it to the MovieDB API, and then they can just use their default.
Yeah.
Or we configure a default.
Or we can say, if it's not provided in the request, we say we do the call with language English or something like that.
So string, you could again say let's move this to company. Default language. I wonder if this works. No. Okay. So we have to do it like this, and here we use this.
And we check if it's there or not.
Yeah, if it's not there, just use the default language. And hopefully this already works. Search movies. It's now recompiling. That's why it's taking a bit longer.
So now it should be English.
Yeah, I guess nothing changed.
Looks okay.
Script original title is here. Was it so empty before? Ah, it's page 9.
It's page 9, yeah.
Yeah. Ah. What?
But that's German.
That's German.
Maybe a cached result or something like that?
No, Postman shouldn't cache.
Or the backend doesn't cache at the moment, right?
No.
Okay.
Probably it was just I moved this constant around. Maybe that was something he couldn't recompile. Let's.
It's still German. Okay.
Interesting.
And just to check it, the default, yeah, okay, it's English.
Debugging time.
Do you send it as header?
No, at the moment I don't send it.
You don't send.
I
Yeah, okay,
hope.
Right. But
maybe I send it.
Okay.
Okay, so works as expected.
So
just a layer 8 problem as always. Good guess. Good guess. So we can either send en, I hope. Breakpoint. So yeah.
Looks like.
Or EE.
Or French or
the 80, and then the second one should have no description. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
now we can add it to the client.
Yeah.
So we can provide the locale of the device, for example.
Yeah. Exactly. So for the search, we now have it. We can also add it to the get movie by ID.
So the chat is very quiet at the moment. So are you still there?
Tired after the whole hype train?
Yeah.
Get movie by ID. What? Oh. Forgot to copy off of the stuff.
I don't hope they fall asleep.
First going crazy with DTO mapping and then...
Yeah. Okay. Lensman is still there.
Yeah. Okay. Also for the get movie list, we probably also want it. So we pass it in here. Pass it in here. Yes. Because here we call also the to get movie by ID. So get movie by ID. Yay. Awesome. Good. So, done for today.
Okay, it was a pleasure. No.
Yeah. That's one thing that I wanted to do today, just to prepare for the client using it, so that you don't have to change stuff again. Let me. I would just make it.
I don't know if it's on purpose that the sound of the overlay is turned off, but it is turned off. I can turn it on. I haven't changed that.
I haven't changed it either. So,
but now we need a test bit. So
yeah. Where's the test bit? That's also a way to.
Yeah.
And now set the limit for minimum bits to 100 or so.
Yeah. Oh, you can't hear a sound, but I have muted it, and we wait till we get a certain amount. And no, we wouldn't do that.
It seems sound is
never.
Yeah.
Yeah, sound is back. Okay.
Okay. So I just committed it so that we have this saved for you guys. Now the next thing we want to move on to. You said, so for now we created movie lists, very basic. So one request from the client was that they can change the name of the movie list. I mean,
for example,
makes total sense. Also, in the future, we might want to add more data to it, and therefore we should really have an entity in the database for a list, and then connect all the movies to it, and yeah, that's basically it. And so we need to restructure a bit our movie lists that we have here, and yeah, I would say let's get started with them.
The question in chat is also if you can deploy it. It's on the list, but not today.
It's on the list, yeah. But I guess it will be more than 1 or 2 streams, probably.
Yeah. So maybe next backend stream, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Also have to search a cluster where I can run it.
Yeah, but we can run it locally. That's not problem.
Yeah, I mean, I showed you with the Docker Compose. I'm running it now.
Yeah, and
locally.
Jonas already did it in the last stream. So
yeah, awesome. Okay. So
we only have to think to remember that we update the local.
Yeah, code. You will notice when the response is not what you expect. Awesome. We want to. So at the moment we created a movie list just by adding a movie to it, but now we want to really create a list. So just to not get a lot of compile errors, I will comment this out. Maybe let's create a movies list resource, which is dedicated, only handling movie lists stuff. So the search movies and the get movies by ID.
Our new mods are already using the features, but it's the wrong feature.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more like a Umfrage vote.
Okay.
Should we do it today? And not
should we start?
Should we start? But it's we can say what the result is. So
yeah, I mean, I pretty much started already. So we can say we have the movies and we have lists as the base path here, And then let's start with a post. You can also remove this here. Don't need that. And probably some of this also. Awesome. Already split up code a bit, made it more clean. So we have a post. The list is up here now. And we want to, basically we just want to post a new list. What we can do is we will always handle JSON. So we just say for the whole class, we will produce and consume JSON all the time.
Okay.
So the list name, we don't want to provide it as a query parameter. Instead, we want to provide it as a body, because in the future you might want to add more stuff. So let's also make lists subpackage here, move it there, and list. To not have like a super huge package with all DTOs in it and so on. So new package here. Actually, no idea why everything is red. Oh, imports. Okay. Okay. So we have a new great movie list DTO. Data class like always, and we want to provide list name, and
the ID.
The ID.
When we want to change it, then we need it. Huh?
Yeah, but it's a create.
It's a create.
You're talking about the
only the name,
first.
Then only the name.
Yeah. So great movie. What's the new prediction or new word?
I don't think I
will interest. I cannot read it.
I wouldn't tell you because
because
okay.
You can then it's not fun anymore.
Drive the result then.
Okay. So. Then I'm looking forward to
see the
result.
Let's see.
Yeah. So we want to create a movie list. At the moment, we still have no authentication, so I will add again our user workaround. User ID.
I will tell you the prediction at the end
of
the stream, and then you can tell me the result.
Okay. Looking forward. Okay. So now at the moment we only have the user movie list entity, and we want to change that a bit. So it has an ID. First of all, I don't want to use long IDs because they are sequential when they are generated, and then you can guess, for example, how many lists exist.
Okay.
Just create a new list and you know how many lists exist. And also you can guess numbers, other numbers, just use lower numbers.
Okay.
And of course, it should not be able to access lists from other users, but if you cannot even know the ID of them, that's better. So what we want to do is we want to use UUIDs. This is also very easily possible. We just write here the generator, it's called. It's just UUID. So we have a UUID now. Also, we still want to have the user ID. Must also not be null. We want to have the list name, not null, but we don't have the movie here. Yeah, so get rid of this. And of course, also now here in our unique index, we cannot add the movie here. So the user ID and list name should be unique. We don't want the user to have the same list multiple times.
Yeah.
Okay. That's our new entity. And the movie list repository now also needs to change a bit. We want to do a create movie list with the user ID list name. And then actually,
yeah, you can check if the list name is already in the database.
Yes.
For this user.
What would be nice if we, so there's two ways to handle when you create a list. So it could happen that the list already exists. So now there's the question, do you want to, when you try to create a list that already exists, should I throw you an error because it already exists? Or should I say, well, you wanted it to exist, now it exists?
Yeah, good question.
It's fine. I mean, I did what you want. It's there.
A 200 would be okay for the create because it's there after the request.
Yeah, and I'm more on the side of, I know what your intention was, create this list, make that it's there. It's not so much creating it, forcing the creation, it's just making that it's there.
Yeah.
And when it's already there, then you're fine.
Yeah. For me, it's okay.
Yeah.
It would be fine. Because an error, it's not an error.
Yeah, it just worked.
Yeah.
It worked better than you hoped for.
Yeah. What can possibly be is that there are already movies in this list, but that's okay for this request because this is only the list, and then I would do another request and say, give me the movies for that list, and then I get a result. It would be fine.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Now
then the return data object.
Just to clarify, if you haven't seen, we got a word ban.
The chat can see that.
Okay. So from now on, I will say the not array. So if we want to create a movie not array, yeah. But what we also want to do is we want to return the name and the ID of it. So basically the object, how it looks now.
Okay, it's too much for Jonas.
So what I will return here is some object.
Then Jonas say thank you to Half So Wild. If you can't follow anymore.
So we will have to have a model where we pass this back.
Yeah, okay.
We will want the movie not array.
And
the movie star.
And Jonas already said in the chat, the not array name should not be the ID, but I think it is like that, or?
What?
Yeah, you generate a ID, a UUID.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then it was an old message.
Okay.
Or he hasn't seen that.
Okay. We want to. This is really confusing. Not using this word when we talk about exactly this.
Yeah, let us think about if we remove
that feature. I mean, it's a bit confusing,
reward.
But you create multiple lists.
Yeah, but multiple not arrays.
So I don't get your question, Lensman.
I mean, so that I'm able to create multiple not arrays with the same name. Yeah, it's
So
you have to check if it's okay. That's already there because we get okay from the create if it's already there. So we can do multiple.
I mean, there's one. We are talking about mobile clients, so we always have to assume that there's a connection drop. And now the connection drop can occur when you try to send something on the way to the server, but it can also happen on the way back.
Yeah, on the receive. Yeah.
So when it's on the way back, I have created a list. We will do a retry.
List. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, then you can use it again.
Then I will. Then I will have created the not array. And you will retry, but then you will get an error. This would not be really nice behavior for you. So now let's go ahead. We have the ID here. It's a UUID.
So I see the chat has fun.
Yeah, you got me. If the name is already used, we should just know to have 2 not arrays with the same name, but not for the same user. Why would the same user have 2 not arrays with the same name? That's only confusing, I would say.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah. Then you
because for example you have a watch not array, and why do you want a second one with exactly the same name?
You could add a 1. No, we don't add a 1.
No.
For example, with the retry thing, you have 5 connection drops on the way back. You will have 5 lists.
You can use the word again, by the way.
It's fine. Oh. I'm so glad. So then I can say the list name. I have to use it now before the next word ban comes in. That was a really mean one. The movie list model. Okay. So we want to return this, and we always want to return it. So I will first make a get movie list for a user and the by list movie list by name, and we can do this with find, and it's user ID and list name.
I think Jonas is not okay with the answer. Fine. Okay, the next backend stream will be with Jonas, and then you can discuss that.
List. Yeah, model. Let's do it right. Entity first result. Why? What? Haha. Okay. So the first result here, we have now first result or optional or first result. This optional thing is a Java way of doing optionals, which is not what we want to do.
Okay.
So there is one small change that we need to do. We added panache. Yeah. We added panache here, but there's also panache Kotlin, which has special Kotlin extensions.
Okay.
And works with the better with Kotlin. And I think we need to change the import. Yeah. So you see here in the path it's Kotlin now. It's Kotlin, yeah. And now we have first result. If we check again, we have first result. On this optional method is not there because it's not something you do in Kotlin, and we have it optional here.
Oh, okay.
So now we get the entity, and we can say return entity to model. And ID and its name. Ah, it's only the only name. Oh, it's this name. Why? Ah, the ID. The ID is optional in the entity because we need to have it null when we save it to the database. So the database is generating something here.
So when it's a new list,
yeah,
then
when it's a new one,
generated, but it's not there. That's
we said it. We persisted with null value here. Then it knows it has to create one.
Moritz, what does that count as a mistake? The wrong import.
The wrong import?
The Kotlin. Yeah.
No, that was an intentional thing I wanted to show you.
That's there. That's a Kotlin version, is there?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to make you aware of that.
Yeah, don't tell him, Moritz.
Will I make mistakes? I hope not.
Yeah, okay. Now the result is totally up to Andreas.
I will never make mistakes. You know me. I follow.
I could check what they voted for, and then you can do your best to that they lose the
opposite, and we rig the election. So we want to use this toModel function only after we persisted something. So we know there will be an ID. So if not, we fail.
Maybe we should start to record also the chat somewhere in the scene, because when they watch it later on YouTube, they don't get the context why we are laughing and why we are not using certain words and stuff. Yeah, maybe we should think about.
Yeah. Okay. So we have toModel. It's of course optional, and we can say get movie list by name, user ID, list name, list, and if that already exists, then we directly return it. And if it does not exist, which is the opposite case, we create a new movie list thing. New list. And we return it. Entity to model after entity after the persisting. So we will get back to that. Movie, no, is it this one? Let's start from the resource again. List resource, create movie list, and yeah.
Half so wild wants his points back, I see. He says that there was already an error or a mistake by you. So,
no.
So let's check how many points has he.
This repository, create one, user, and name. Okay. Of course, we also want to return this here. And then here we also want to do response, as always. Not needed. Right, user movie is 1. Two once. Yeah. And then we have movie list DTO. UID. And we can just send the UUID back and it will convert it correctly. Movie list DTO. ID name. Okay. Let's try. I'm expecting some errors. Just as a disclaimer. Maybe my mistake is that I expect errors and there won't be any. Wow. I can't believe it. So we want to create a movie list. I prepared this already. So we have the movies lists. Today we have Timo. And we have a 4. That's yeah. Of course we don't have the name here. We had this before. But we want to create a...
So, Professor Wild is dancing right now.
This was only for educational purposes to show you how you debug and go on. So...
but we can count it as mistake.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's
Okay.
now a mistake.
So, but the better question would be, there was one person in chat who said you don't make mistakes.
Yeah, I don't make mistakes.
Yeah, but I don't know who he is. But because you can see in the chat, the second number, the purple one, is the result they voted for. And the second one is, yes, you do mistakes.
Okay.
So there is no one in chat. But okay.
Null for the exception. Is null. User ID. Request power. I changed the name.
Now you can make errors. The result is
it's over. I don't care anymore.
They say in chat, Andreas voted for himself.
I don't have time while I'm coding here. What? Where is it happening? That's just to give you a lesson in debugging and yeah. So where did it happen? Query syntax.
Oh no.
Listening.
So right. Wild says, now I have enough coins to make them do stuff again.
No.
Okay, let me deactivate channel point rewards.
Where exactly did it happen? Query syntax, token list name. Oh, I forgot an equal sign.
Oh.
Oh, come on. I did not make a transaction, I guess.
We need sounds, so.
Yeah, we need that. That's movie list service. No, I did make a transaction. First guess was wrong again. It's clear. I think I know what's wrong. So that's what you get for not doing the drop and recreate. Yeah. It could not update the database because we made such a big change. So when you start it next time, better drop the database before you do it. In a future episode, we can also talk about database migration. But
on iOS side, it's the same.
Yeah,
normally to development, you don't do migration things because nobody uses the app at that stage. And
it's
then,
just painful. Yes. I told you, without any mistakes, it just worked. Okay. Do we have still time left?
We are near the 1 hour mark.
Let's maybe do one more thing. Update it. So we might want to put do put and do the
Lensman is asking, can you set it to auto drop on start so the database gets refreshed?
For you. No. Come on, Italy. Drop and create. Okay.
And that's why the person who does the stream or presents something shouldn't know what the prediction is about. Because now it's totally.
So now we have the list ID as a parameter. So rest path list ID. No, it's not a string. It's a UUID. And if you don't provide a valid UUID, it will complain. And so what's my mouse? My mouse looks strange and it's not going back. And
okay. Half so Wild is able to add channel point rewards, and he added a reward for code for 1 minute with your eyes closed. Really? Okay, I think we can now end the stream.
I have to be a bit more prepared for such stuff. And especially when I'm jumping classes like this. So the good thing we can remove this. Fuck. No, I cannot do it right now. Not with this code. That's too hard. That's too hard.
Next time
we will try. We will try again.
Yeah. Lensman has a cool idea.
Okay.
Timo is closing his eyes and Andreas is coding.
That's nice.
Okay, tell me when the minute is over.
That's a good idea. So update movie list. We want to update this list. And movie list model back. I actually forgot to look on the clock. Yeah, you already opened again. Okay. So now we need to get the. I think we need to get the entity. So let's extract it to a method. Again, list entity by name. But we don't want it by name. We have the ID. Find by ID. Why is this a long? Entity. Okay, then I guess we have to do this and ready. So this way we can specify the type of the ID. And now, yes, ID. This do we directly? Yeah, we get an optional. So in this case, if it's not there, then it's an error. I will now throw a not found exception. Probably in the future we want to change this to. I mean, this will get you a 404, which is correct. Yep. But this is a exception from the REST stuff, and you don't want to have the REST stuff in your database code. So you want to throw some other exception and then map it, but not today. Can we add something? Yeah. And now we want to, I think it's just this name and it's the new name. And I think this might even already change it.
Okay, so you don't have to call something like
update or so.
Okay.
I think if I remember correctly, but we will find out. Service course transactional. We return it again. And here also. Okay. Let's try. Let's put list. No. Body it's new. User was Timo. List. No, we need to use the ID, of course.
ID equals or something like that.
It might be that we dropped it because we changed the database.
We did it after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have a new ID. Maybe it's new. Okay. Now let's also check here. Favorites new.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. So yeah, with normal Hibernate, you need to, where is it? Repository. Yeah, you would need to do a persist here again, but with Panache, it will take the changes you make on the entity when you close the transaction.
Okay, cool.
And persist them. And yeah, we already saw the 404 when we made it. The test, not the error, the test. Just to be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can now create movie lists and update movie lists, and next time we can add the relation that we also add movies to the list and get all lists and so on.
Okay.
Good.
So that's it for today. So any questions in the chat? So we just wait a second. And if not, I will prepare a rate. So it would be cool if you can stay for it. There's an iOS developer online, which I know, so who I know, so maybe we can rate him.
Go ahead.
He's basically a mobile designer and doing iOS apps.
Okay.
He's at the moment working on his third app, and
nice.
Maybe we take him today.
Yeah.
So would be great to get the popular movies, top rated, etc. calls as well in the gateway. So more endpoints.
Yeah, more endpoints or probably something like that. We can think about how we would do it best.
Okay.
Look into that. Thanks for joining and watching and having fun with us. It was quite a fun one today.
Then next week we will have 2 streaming slots, game dev on Wednesday and on Friday iOS. So we try to integrate the backend, or at least some calls of them.
Yeah.
So, and with that being said, we go into our weekend now.
Yeah.
And so let's start the raid and see you next week then.
Have a nice weekend, guys.
So we have some seconds left till the raid is prepared.
Yeah.
So we have to wait. So. Yeah. And that's it. So have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.